I am an opening contrarian. And one of the pieces of advice that is usually dispensed most fervently and that I dislike most fervently is like, you only need to concentrate on openings at rating X. And that rating seems to shift based on the chess guru that's sharing this information. I don't understand the logic of this advice, and I'm particularly passionate about it because I've made this mistake and have seen how much it held me back. In general, I think that you should start opening study basically, obviously not from the time that you learn the rules of chess. Like there is a certain stage in your development where essentially all you need to do is solve puzzles and watch a few YouTube videos on like total rudiments. Like you can play 1e4, develop your knights, develop your bishops in the general area of the center, try not to blunder your pieces and, like throw pieces at your opponent's king and see what works. This, I think, is probably the hardest stage of chess development, particularly for adults. But if you solve enough puzzles and you watch enough instructional videos, you will get through this phase and you will see the other side at like 12 or 1300 chess.com rating. Once you hit that point, you need to start learning openings. And when I say that, I mean, yes, like you need to have a repertoire, you need to play the same thing every game. And it's not a bad idea to invest in like Chessable courses. And also to realize that if you decide on a particular opening and you play it, you can collect data that will then allow you to optimize that repertoire. And the impact that this could make on your chess development is unspeakable. Like if people look at my speedrun games, I think an insight that you can make is that a lot of the games are won before move 15. Mm-hmm. And not because I've reacted to something surprising, but because I've just reproduced common theory or reacted in a common sense way to like a very offbeat move. This is, insofar as there exists a way to hack your chess progress, I think it is overemphasis of the openings, and I mean that in a positive sense. Now, does that mean you need to memorize like Yuri's French course if you're 1100? Obviously not. So what I would recommend for people to do, and I will expose a small secret for the course that I'm doing in the King's Indian, is use the Lead Chess. If you're playing on chess.com, you can use Opening Explorer to see what your opponents have played against you. You can use this website called openingtree.com, but I found that it doesn't load well if there's a lot of games. And the leadchess.org has the entire database of games played at Lead Chess. That is a gold mine, because you should use that database over Chessable because it contains the most popular move online, and those are the moves that you're actually going to face. Those are the moves that you need to focus on when you master your openings. And let's say you've chosen a repertoire, okay? You play 1e4 with white. I always recommend for people to play essentially dangerous offbeat lines. Like unless you're 2200 plus, open Sicilian for white, I almost never recommend. Alapin, Smith-Mora, Grand Prix attack, so many more practical weapons. Choose something that's a little easier to learn. Against e4, e5, you could look at the King's Gambit. Like Nepo's course is pretty darn sexy. Like there's a lot of stuff there. And I've seen it played successfully. People always ask, like, should I play this opening at this level? As though once you try it once, like there's a higher power that is forcing you to play it for the rest of your life. If you're in the process of formulating a repertoire, shop around. Like choose an opening, say, I'm going to spend 2 weeks playing this opening. I'm going to see what my results are, right? I'm going to invest a little bit of time learning it because that, learning is going to help you in general, even if you don't end up playing the opening. And then I'm going to make a decision and I'm going to try 3 different openings. I'm going to try the Benoni, King's Indian, and Queen's Gambit declined, right? If you're choosing an opening against d4. You spend 2 weeks trying each of them, playing 100 games in each, and then you see which one did I like more? Which one did I feel more comfortable in? Right? The point of a repertoire is you have to feel generally comfortable in the positions that you get. And I call BS on people who are like, but I don't know how to determine if I'm comfortable. Do you enjoy the process of playing the games? Sometimes you're going to get destroyed, whichever opening you play. But this happened to me. Like I played the Caro-Kann with black, even as a GM. I was searching for more blitz weapons. I didn't like it, right? I played it for like 6 months. The positions were too cramped. I moved on. And, now I'm trying out the Kalashnikov and different Sicilians. And, I'm doing the same thing. So I really think that people should de-emphasize the importance of not knowing openings as though it's some sort of sacred duty. Like the less you know in openings and the later you begin, the better. I think it's the opposite. And I think that memorizing openings is fantastic because you are then guaranteeing that you can play the right move wait, is that not a good thing now? Like, isn't that like the best, most efficient use of your time if you can memorize how to get a better position?
Yeah, not so much counterintuitive. I fully agree, by the way, that you just feel that this is your opening once you've tried it and played for some time. For example, you mentioned the King's Indian. I've been playing it a lot, so looking forward to your course. Definitely will buy it.
Nice.
So I just felt it once I tried it. I enjoyed the positions. The ensuing complications, the attacks. I knew that this is like my opening, and I have a very good score in the King's Indian, although I've just recently started playing it. So yeah, I think this applies definitely to people at all levels.
Yeah, I mean, and there's like openings like the London, which are openings where you sacrifice originality. They say that about the city I live in, Charlotte. You sacrifice like creativity or culture for safety. It's a safe city, but it's got its cultural landmarks. The Chess Center, I don't know if it's one of them. But with the London, you buy like this package where you're like guaranteed to get an okay position, but you're stunting your development. And this is the other thing with openings is like if you play them properly, you expose yourself to different types of positions. And when you artificially channel the game into one particular direction, yeah, it might get you to like 1400. And if you're enjoying the positions, keep it as a weapon. But I always recommend that people branch out from like system openings. Or I've seen some like club players who swear by like the hippo or a particular set of moves that they play every game. I think that eventually that will stunt your growth, and you should add like a main opening. Not trying to take charge of anyone's chess development. You can play what you want. It's not my business. But play what works for you. And, I think openings are very important. I don't think that they should replace general chess development. And I think that, solving is still the main building block of chess progress at any level, just literally solving positions. And of course, there's the concept of reading and books. And, maybe you have a better view on this, Greg, but people have started to ask me about chess books as if anybody reads anymore. I don't know anybody who's like read a book in the last 3 years of any kind, but apparently these are like bibliophiles. So I'll let you take the conversation elsewhere. I know it's probably time to wrap up soon, but I'm happy to take one more question if you've got it.
Yeah, I'm the bibliophile, by the way. You can tell it by my pseudonym. But chess books, yeah, I don't read that often. Chessable courses are much more convenient.